You can have the perfect roadmap. You can have real motivation. You can even have plenty of free time. And guess what? You can still quit. I know, because I've done it more than once. And for a long time, I couldn't understand why. I had the resources. I had the desire. So why did I keep stalling out? Why did I keep procrastinating? It took me years to see it clearly. And here is what I eventually learned. The thing that actually stops people is almost never the difficulty of the material itself. It's 3 specific traps that nobody ever warns you about in advance. And the good news, the reason this video matters so much is that once you can name these 3 traps out loud, they lose almost all of their power over you. So let's name all 3 together right now. Trap number 1. The first trap is the one you have almost certainly heard of, even if you didn't know its name. It's called tutorial hell. And here is what it actually looks like from the inside, because it's sneakier than people think. You watch course after course. Your notes are genuinely beautiful, color-coded, well organized. You feel steady, very strong, comfortable, with sense of progress with every video you complete. And yet you have never once built anything from a completely blank screen, entirely on your own. So the skill never actually transfers into your hands. You become incredibly fluent at following along with someone else and completely helpless the moment you are on your own. Here's the analogy that finally made it click for me, and I think you already heard it. About swimming. You can watch 1,000 hours of perfect swimming technique on YouTube. It will not stop you from sinking the very first time you get in the deep end. At some point, you simply have to get into the water and you will feel uncomfortable, right? That uncomfortable struggle is not a sign you are failing. That pain, that struggle is literally what learning feels like from the inside. So the fix for trap 1 is simple to say and scary to do. Build before you feel ready. Always. Build ugly, broken, embarrassing little projects, always working just one notch beyond your current comfort zone. That's where all the real learning actually lives. Don't wait to know everything. Don't wait for the perfect moment. That's the first trap, tutorial hell. Let's move to the second trap. The second trap was, without question, the biggest one for me personally. And it's the one people underestimate the most. It's having no feedback loop. Here is the problem. When you learn completely alone, you genuinely cannot tell the difference between good work and bad work. You have no reference point. You build a pipeline and you have absolutely no idea whether it's built the way a real professional would build it, right? Or whether it's the work of a total beginner who just happened to get a lucky result that works by accident. And that blindness is incredibly expensive. In a way, you don't even notice while it's happening, because without feedback, you end up over-studying things that genuinely don't matter, while confidently shipping bad habits that a senior engineer would flag and fix in about 5 seconds. You waste months, and this is the key point, not on the hard things, but on the wrong things entirely, with absolutely no one there to tell you that you have drifted off course. I lost so much time to this exact trap. I would spend 3 weeks perfecting some detail that no employer would never care about, while completely neglecting a fundamental that every single interviewer would ask about. And I had no way of knowing, because there was no one looking at my work who had already walked the path ahead of me. So the fix for trap 2 is this. Get your work as early, as often as you can, in front of someone who is already where you want to be. Someone who can look at what you built and tell you honestly what's strong and what needs fixing. One single honest review from the right person can genuinely save you 100 hours of quietly going in the wrong direction. So that trap 2. We have trap 1, which is the tutorial hell. Trap 2, no feedback loop. And the third trap is the quietest and the deadliest of them all, because it doesn't feel like a trap while it's happening. I call it the motivation cliff. In month 1, you are absolutely on fire. You are studying every night. You are excited. You can see the whole future in front of you. Then month 3 arrives. Life gets busy, the way it always does. The results are coming slower than you hoped. And of course, there is nobody watching whether or not you actually show up today. So slowly, quietly, without ever making a real decision about it, you just stop. You don't even know that you give up. And that's the thing people misunderstand about quitting. It's almost never a single conscious decision to give up. It's a slow fade. A missed day becomes a missed week, becomes a project you never opened again. So here is the reframe that genuinely changed things for me, and I want to give it to you directly. Motivation is not a personality trait that some lucky people are simply born with. It's a system. The people who actually make it through are not more naturally disciplined than you are. I promise you, they are not. They are simply more accountable to something outside of themselves. A person, a group, a commitment, a deadline that isn't just in their own head. So here is the fix for trap 3. Build a structure and accountability that don't depend on how you happen to feel on any given Tuesday night. Because your feelings will absolutely betray you around month 3. A good system will not. So there they are. The 3 traps that quietly end most journeys: tutorial hell, having no feedback loop, and the motivation cliff. And I want you to notice something really important about all 3 of them, because it changes everything. Not a single one of them is about intelligence. They are all, every single one, about your environment. And that is genuinely the best news in this entire playlist, because your environment is the one thing you can actually deliberately change. Which brings the whole thing down to one final simple question: what does an environment that beats all 3 of these traps actually look like? And how do you get yourself into one? And that's exactly what the next video is about. I'm going to lay out completely honestly how I help people build that exact environment and finally break into this field. The whole thing, top to bottom. So if this playlist has been useful to you so far, that last video is the one that ties everything together and shows you the real concrete next step.